What a way to start this channel on movie reviews than with a superhero movie that's all about hope, right? Superman, James Gunn 2025. We have another Superman movie. Now, I think like to review this, especially when it comes to a movie about a superhero or that's a movie that's a cartoon into live action, a remake or anything, you kind of have to have two ideas, right? Because there's always comparison when it comes to the other movies. So let's talk about Superman first, about how it is as its own thing, right? Like a Superman movie, like James Gunn superhero Superman movie. Uh, I think let's start with the acting. David Cornsweet as Superman was great. I think like every time he would come onto the screen and it was just like this image of him with the Superman suit, I was just like, yeah, that's Superman, and I was convinced, and I actually liked them as Superman. Lois Lane was played by Rachel Brosnahan. I think she was great. She was good as well. Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor was good. He was menacing. He was angry. Like he was very convincing as Lex Luthor. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, I thought was great. I thought he was funny, but he wasn't like overly funny. Like it fit his character, and I was excited to see Green Lanterns. Uh, like not for the first time on film because there's another one that nobody really talks about, but to see him on there and to see him play that character was great, and it was great to see on film. And I can't wait to see because there's gonna be a Green Lantern TV series and he's in it. And it's gonna be like some murder mystery. But anyways, besides that, Superman the movie in general, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was good. It was entertaining. It had good action. It had, like I mentioned right now, great casting. The music was great. Using those snippets from that original John Williams score, and they use them in like the perfect moments of the movie as well. Like I walked out of the movie humming the theme, right? Dun, 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 dun. Like I 'Cause it's something that's stuck forever, and I think it was really smart of James Gunn to use that score, that original theme for this movie because it is Superman. Like, just like, the 007 theme is James Bond, like, you're always gonna have that. Like, it's Indiana Jones, always gonna be like, it doesn't matter the actor or whatever who plays these certain characters, and that's one of those themes that's just it's gonna last forever, and it's great that he brought it back. Now, this is a James Gunn movie, and there are some things during the movie where it's just like, I mean, he said he didn't wanna be, like, too funny, but he was. I feel like he just can't help it, and I do feel in certain points in the movie where it's definitely like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Superman, right? Especially because there's all these characters and there's so much going on. Though the difference I feel like with the of the Galaxy in this movie is that Guardians of the Galaxy, there's so many characters, but it's all like connected and it all flows with the story. Whereas with this one, I feel like there's some parts in the movie where there's just so much going on and so many characters that some characters get missed or pushed to the side or because of that there's not like this emotional impact. Like for example, two characters that I feel like could have done so much more and given so much more impact to the end of the movie because of something they do, um, without spoiling it, and that's Ma and Pa Kent. Like, they were not really in the movie a lot. They were like just they were there, and there's a couple important scenes with them, and I feel like those important scenes, like the emotional impact they were supposed to have, would have been way better if they were in the movie more. And they had at least one or two more scenes where there was that really close relationship with them and Clark. Clark Kent in general wasn't in the movie a lot, which is fine. You don't have to have Clark Kent in the movie a lot. It's a Superman movie, and that's fine. Um, you also don't need another origin story, Superman origin story, and this movie was not that at all. Uh, Again, there's some things on there they're funny, like they're good, like that's pretty funny. And there's some that are just like, it's a little too much. But overall, the movie's good. to start this new DC universe that James Gunn is doing, that he's planning along with Warner Brothers and everything. Like, I think it is a good start. I really do. And I feel like they got something going. They have a good plan of where they're going. James Gunn already says that every movie is gonna have like its own feeling, its own like tone, and I think that's smart and that's great, and especially bringing it all together later on in probably a Justice League movie, and I'm sure that's the idea. But, again, overall, fun, exciting movie. Crypto, I feel like Crypto was used right. I feel like Crypto was fun. He was great in the movie. Um, there are something not Crypto, but there's just some Superman is Superman, right? It's in his name, Superman. He's this strong, godlike alien who comes to Earth, and he's here to save humanity and all that. But there's just sometimes in the movie, not sometimes, in the movie, there's just he gets beaten up a lot, a little too much for being Superman, and that's not counting like kryptonite. Like that's without kryptonite. And I don't know, like I guess I get the idea. They're trying to make him like more vulnerable and more relatable, like Spider-Man or something like that, which I get. And this movie definitely is more comic-y than other Superman movies, which leads me to now the comparison of Superman and other Superman movies. There's the older generation who's always going to compare Superman to, to that old original Superman, and there's nothing like that, especially for the time and to live up to that with that original theme and everything, and Christopher Reeve playing Superman, like it's a great first movie, and not just I said for its time, but not just for its time. I mean, people still love and remember that movie today. And then you have Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, to which me personally, Man of Steel came out. I remember seeing the Man of Steel trailer when going to see the midnight premiere of Dark Knight Rises. And I saw that trailer and I was just like, dude, I cannot wait for this movie, especially after Dark Knight and the seriousness of that movie, and how I love that Batman trilogy, right? And now getting a Superman movie, and even though they weren't connected, it had some of the same producers and writers in it, but I was excited for it. And it came out, and I really liked the Superman movie. Different soundtrack, Hans Zimmer, which I love Hans Zimmer. He's my favorite. And the soundtrack for that was great. He didn't need the John Williams score. But overall, with that darker tone, it was different. And I I do feel like some characters in Man of Steel were used a little bit better there than here in Superman, specifically Ma and Pa Kent. Uh, but again, there were two different feels, two different movies, two different tones. So at the same time, like I can't really compare. So I feel like Man of Steel for its time, for what Zack Snyder and what Warner Bros. Was trying to do with that franchise and those movies was one thing, and it worked and it fit. Even though some movies after Man of Steel failed, I feel like I feel Man of Steel was the best of all those. Superman, James Gunn's Superman works for what he's trying to do and where he's going, and where he's trying to take this franchise. And for that, I'm excited for it, honestly. Like just like when Iron Man first came out, it was one of those things where it's just like, all right, this is a good movie. Now what? And Marvel just kept producing and making more movies, and now look what it is today. Like over 20 movies, television series, and it's all connected. And now DC is trying to do the same thing. They've been trying, but now they're redoing it again. But I really do think they have something in their hands. I just hope they don't rush it, right? I hope they don't do like what DC did originally with like Man of Steel and Justice League, where they kind of like rushed it and it kind of became a little mess. I hope they don't rush it. This Superman kind of gives the idea that they are rushing it because of all the characters and some of the established things already going on. But I'm honestly more hopeful because I do feel like it's being handled in a different way, hopefully better way. Um, but I do say that this movie does get me excited for what's to come. Um, that's basically it. Like, but I again I love this movie. Um, I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it an 85%. So I'm gonna be giving my reviews in percentage. I was thinking, oh, should I do 5 stars or should I do 10? But there's just some things where I really have to think about it, but I'm gonna give it an 85. Um, I think that through time, for me personally, depending on where this franchise goes and depending where the DC universe goes, I think it will be better. I think that the better each movie gets, this first movie will be better for me, right? Because it's the first of many movies to come, and I think this is establishing a world, showing you this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, and I think it does well at showing us that. But now it's like, okay, now after this, now what? And I think that will tell a lot on how strong this movie is, just like how strong Iron Man was. Again, you're gonna compare. They're two different franchises, two different types of superheroes and everything. But you people are going to compare, and you are going to compare. Again, as its own movie, it's great. Um, as something part of a bigger world, it's gonna be great as well. But I give it that 85 because of some of those, like I said, emotional things that I feel were missing, because some things were rushed. I mean, it's just a 2-hour movie. It wasn't 2.5. It was literally 2 hours and 10 minutes. And they could have done more time, but I think for being a first movie, they decided let's keep it at this. Let's just establish this and let's keep it at that. And I mean, maybe it was smart, maybe it was wise, but again, I liked it. Nothing really more to critique. Again, maybe that percentage will go up through time. But Superman, if you haven't seen it, go. I do think you need to watch it. I watched it in IMAX. Of course, I love IMAX. So if I have the opportunity to watch a movie in IMAX, I'm going to watch it in IMAX. I saw it in IMAX. It was great. It was loud. Action was fun. Was funny. A little too funny in some parts, but I mean, it's James Gunn, so you know what you're getting into. I'm not against James Gunn filmmaking. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I liked his Suicide Squad. I thought it was really funny. My wife didn't like it. She thought it was too much, but and I enjoy his Superman movie. And so we'll see where this goes. We'll see where this franchise overall goes. But it's fun. Go watch it. And if you've seen it, comment. Let me know what you thought about it. But that's all I have for today. Again, comment, let me know, like this video, subscribe, and so then we can release some more talking points and more reviews. See you later.